Hey,
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Death Note reviews. Now, you're probably wondering, what are you guys doing a Death Note review right now? AJ's supposed to be on his way to Massachusetts. There's been
yeah,
a
and I
change in
would be if
plans.
we were still driving. Turns out we're not driving. I had to buy plane tickets yesterday. So I'm leaving. I'm flying to Massachusetts at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
So, and I have a 1 hour layover. So, yay!
but in a way, though, this is kind of the world, giving us a second chance because
Redemption. We can finally get to the time skip before I leave.
yeah,
Finally. We have like 4 hours before I need to leave my house. So, in those 4 hours, we're going to get from 21 to 26, and it's happening.
yeah, whether Skype wants it to or not, because
We will
when
force our way through this.
yeah,
For those of you who don't know, because obviously you don't see our scrapped videos, we've been trying to record this for the last 15 minutes, and Skype keeps lagging and freezing, and I hate it.
it's working fine now though. So
Yeah,
let's
thank God. Freaking pray to God, knock on wood.
yeah. All right, so I say that now, and
Yeah.
it's probably gonna look like crap again. Um, all right, so let's start this review. So yeah, we're on episodes 21 through 23, which you would think, in a way, that these would kind of be. I thought these when I was, before I watched them, I thought they were just going to be mainly setup episodes for 24 through 26, and they probably are. But these are pretty damn good setup episodes. Like a lot of significant stuff
I
happens.
wouldn't even say 23 is a setup episode. I think that's just like a really solid episode of Death Note.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but I'm just talking about what I thought. Like, I didn't think like I'm not saying these episodes. I thought these episodes were going to be bad. I just thought they were going to be setup episodes for
Right.
those, but it wasn't at all. So, um, the only episode that's really like setup is 21. But I mean, it's done very well.
And the thing I love about like how we're watching these, we like these episodes are really good together.
Yeah,
22 and 23 are just like one big episode.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think that's the one thing we did right with the Death Note reviews this time around. Doing it the second time, is 14 and 15 worked with each other. Um, Definitely 16 and 17 worked together we
Right.
couldn't we couldn't review 16 and 17 in a separate videos. We couldn't do that.
Right,
Just
because they like were so joined together.
yeah,
Hopefully we
same.
have this we can do this after the time skip because we're both gonna be blind after that point.
Yeah, so um Um, that's kind of like one of the advantages that like one of us watches these episodes, kind of in a way, um, because we know like what to watch and what not to watch. Even though like I feel like though like this kind of still happened by accident though. Like even though this stuff, like there's no way like we could you
Oh yeah, there's no way I like planned it out
could
like
we could
that
have planned.
meticulously, but like I knew like generally like when and what happens.
Yeah. All right, though. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
we're rambling already.
yeah.
So
All right, so the episode 21 is called Performance, or whatever, however you say it in Japanese. But I can't say it in Japanese, so I'm saying it in English. Um, and the episode came out in Japan on March 6, 2007, and the episode came out the one the English dub version, the one we're watching, on March 16th, 2008. So it came out a year and 10 days later. So there you go. Um, I think next time though we watch Death Note, we should watch the Japanese version.
yeah.
Because obviously because we'd have the subtitles and stuff. So I feel like we should just do it that way next time. Um,
Well, we'll be watching the Japanese movies after we review the series, so look forward to that.
yeah. All right. So let's talk about this episode. Um, the episode starts off showing the business meetings, and this basically was to kind of them being brought up to speed about kind of L's plan in a way, except they don't know L's plan, but they're talking about now how Coyle wants to set up now an interview with Misa, and like to discuss um stuff about L, but also her get an interview to be the sponsor for the company, um, which is called Yuga Bodo, correct?
Sure, I don't remember, dude.
I thought we had
Sorry
it.
mispronouncing it, but
Yeah. We had it. We knew it earlier, but it's been a few hours since we watched it now. So,
Yeah.
um, that's as close as I think we're gonna get. Um, and we see Elle, and Misa kind of rehearsing everything she's gonna say when she goes into this interview. And I kind of think it's kind of cool that Misa's like this big actress and stuff like that, but like Elle's like more strict probably than like a normal director is, because basically he wants this acting to be like superb, like because it's not like Misa like she can take another take of it if she messes
Right.
up.
This is like a life or death thing. Like if she messes up, like they'll kill her.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Um, so then we see the new Kira. But we don't actually see him, but we see like his shadow and kind of like his face. But it's
But during the meeting, you can like we see like zoom ins of like one specific member,
yeah,
and when he's in the shadows this time, like you can see more like a better outline of him. Like you can see his hair, kind of
yeah.
like how he styles his hair.
Because I think when we saw him the first time, we hadn't seen any of these business meetings, so we didn't know anything about about this guy. So,
Right.
um, so we find out. So basically, in this scene, we found out basically who the new Kira was, which was kind of cool.
And
What's kind of
how Ram basically thinks he's disgusting because he wants to make Misa his wife.
yeah. So that way he can have everything: money, power, and a hot wife,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And he thinks if she is the second Kira, she has Shinigami eyes, so he'll be like unstoppable.
Yeah. But Rem, because she cares about Misa, um, wants to prevent this from happening, so she rips off a page of the Death Note, like not even a page, but like a corner of the Death Note. So we know she's got something planned, because obviously she's gonna make Misa touch it, and whatever happens happens. So I liked it. And this kind of made 21 a significant episode in a way too, because we actually found out who the new Kyo is.
Right.
Um,
And big thing, Misa gets her memories back, which we'll get to in a sec. Well, not her memories, but she knows she's the second Kira, likes Kira, and like all
Yeah.
these other all this other information.
So the meeting happens, and we see like Coil is like the one in charge of it, kind of, which really Coil is Able. So that kind of is a nice tie-in. It definitely shows too, like like we talked about before, like how much smarter Light was as Kira, because this would not have gotten like Light would have seen right through this shit like instantly. Like
We might be Light fanboys, but still Light's definitely smarter than these guys.
yeah. Um, and they are asking her typical interview questions, but then it turns into basically an interrogation about Elle and stuff like that.
Yeah, they know that she was held for questioning by L, and they want to like know information on it.
Yeah, and even one of them calls them out on it. Like, what is this? Like an interrogation thing now? So we see one of the guys, the new Kira, leave, and then Misa leaves to go to the bathroom, but probably really wasn't going to the bathroom, just lying. Um, and this is when Rem comes in and puts the corner of the page and has Misa touch it, and now Misa can see Rem, but they make sure to make it a point that she doesn't have her memories back though.
Right, so like Rem has to like hold her mouth so like she doesn't scream when she sees like this giant, death god.
Yeah. Which is another plot hole because not a plot hole, I mean another, more building up like what exactly brings your memories back, because Rem
Right, yeah.
Rem's kind of like, saying like it can happen, but she's not really going into detail about it because we're not meant to know that yet. So,
like we kind of figured it was possible to get your memories back, but like Rem is basically like this is the first time someone has said like yes, you can get your memories back, but it's not as simple as just like touching a page of the Death Note.
Yeah, so that kind of throws my prediction now out the window. So, see what here's my prediction. Death Note just went right out the window. So.
Yep. Yeah, because you thought if you just touch the page and then you get your memories back.
Well, not the page, but you own physical Death Note.
Oh right, yeah.
So Rem pretty much tells Misa recapping her everything, like how they were, how Light and her were both Kira, and Misa was more powerful because she had the Shinigami eyes. Everything pretty much. And we also find out, Misa points out that this is also part of Light's plan that he made back in episode 16. So, we're still slowly seeing Light's plan play out.
By the way, Light is playing like 4D chess to be able to predict all this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, all right, so Misa is gonna go to this interview, and Rem's gonna like stalk her in the bathroom, and this, and this, and Matsuda's gonna fall out a window, and like all this other shit. Like, how can you predict that?
I don't know. Like,
I'm sure he didn't predict like everything. He just like knew generally like what would happen.
Yeah. And like I said, I think hopefully they'll do like an episode where they'll show a flashback of like either a flashback of Light revealing his plan, or once we really see Light's plan, because we haven't fully seen like Light's. This is kind of a spoiler for all these episodes. We haven't fully seen like Light's plan really play out yet. We're kind of getting more and more information of it. Like 23, we kind of got the most. Like we kind of got the most of it. But we haven't fully seen his plan really play out. Yeah, Rem even tells Misa, that the new Kira is in this room. And she'll know who the new Kira is instantly, because when she looks at the the 6 business people, one of them's going to be behind. Actually, no, it's 7. I'm forgetting to count one of them.
Yeah, one of them got killed.
Well, I'm also forgetting to count one of them because I'm counting the ones that we possibly knew were Kira. So that.
All right, yeah, 6. There were six suspects because we knew that one guy. Who Light called wasn't Kira.
Yeah. So obviously this goes back to when Misa found Light all the way back when.
Like whoever has the Shinigami behind them is probably Kira.
Yeah. So we find out. She sees Rem standing behind one of them, who's the new Kira. Basically that was the whole scene of that. We also, another tie-in here is another guy in the task force is pretending to now be Misa's new manager now because
Matsuda quote unquote died.
Yeah. They're pretty happy that when Misa goes back to the task force headquarters, that everything went according to plan. And we find out that Misa. Oh,
by the way, Higuchi is the I think is the name of the third Kira.
Oh, okay, you're right. I didn't know. I forgot if we found out his name by this point. So, and then Misa. It gets revealed that 3 of the guys from the business meetings wanted to date Misa, which kind of ties into what happens later on in the episode. And
one of them is Higuchi, so
yeah.
But Rem warns her to stay away from him.
Yeah, and so does Light.
Doesn't do in this episode.
Yeah, and so does Light. Light, doesn't want her to be put in harm's way either. And even Elle kind of says that too. One criticism of this episode, I guess, is the fact that we didn't really get much of Light and Elle at all in this episode.
Yeah, they were just kind of on the back burner, and they got when Misa is outsmarting you, you're not doing your job.
Yeah,
Misa was actually pretty good in this episode. She was pretty smart.
Yeah, this is easily the best that Misa's been the whole series. She's been an awful character, and they actually wrote good stuff for her, and So then, well, you could say this is a little bit annoying. So, Misa goes to a women's hospital, and I guess she had a friend that, was a nurse, and they disguise themselves as each other. So that way, Misa can go on a date with Higuchi, of course. What a coincidence it would be him. Basically, the Misa kind of figures out that he's the new Kira because he's been the one most persistent to really want to, be in a relationship with her.
Right.
So,
and, but her friend leaves the bathroom, dresses her, and who would have thought the detective figures out that it's not really Misa.
Yeah.
Like in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second.
And then yeah, Misa's with this with Hogoshi,
I think.
Hogushi, um, and you know, basically when she figures out that he's the new Kira, she tries to pass off saying, you know, that she's the second Kira, which she really was, but you know, in this case, she's
And
lying.
Rem is like confused on what Misa's trying to do.
So, Hagushi wants her to prove it. So he gives one of the like a you know a guy that leads another business that he wants killed, and Misa writes his name down, and basically Rem gets the picture that you know Misa wants Rem to kill this guy, so that way it would look like she
So
is.
Misa makes it look like, and this was smart of her, like that Misa makes it look like she's writing something on the death note, and
Yeah,
then really Rem was just like noticed what she wants her to do and like writes it in her own death note without Higuchi knowing.
yeah. Can you imagine Rem didn't notice? That would have just ruined everything right here.
I
Like,
know, right? Like Rem, like do the thing.
yeah. So then, Higuchi, you know, what basically, because then he calls, he's able to call this guy, and you know, when he makes the phone call, we find out that he actually had a heart attack and died. Um, so you know, Higuchi basically proposes. It's not like you know a typical marriage proposal, though.
Yeah,
He
like
gets
he
on,
basically like pins her down. Is like, all right, like I'm Kira, so marry me.
yeah. But you know, Misa doesn't believe him, so she wants him to not kill anybody for, I forget if it's a week or 3 weeks, but for a
She
certain
just
amount.
says until I say.
Yeah. Um,
And like she obviously knows he's really Kira. She's just trying to like prevent more deaths and like have concrete proof that it's him.
yeah. So, we
But
find
at
out
this
that,
point in the conversation, she went into her pocket and like hit record on her phone.
yeah,
So she didn't record the whole conversation because it would have recorded her saying, "I'm the second Kira." But she recorded the part of like Higuchi saying like, I'm Kira."
yeah. And then, basically, too, we see Al go like this, like the plan and something, and that's how the episode ends. Because I don't think like they have like other conversations, but it's basically them planning now how they're gonna prove if he's really Kira or not and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I thought this episode was a great episode, though. You know, we got the review of the new Kira. We're seeing Light's plan slowly form even more. And I thought, and let's be honest, like this was a great episode for an episode that was just slowly based on Misa, the worst character in the show. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Kind of like, okay, well, I actually liked Matsuda before episode 19, but a lot of people didn't.
yeah,
Like, but like this was just like a good standalone episode where like they got to like prove themselves.
yeah. And I think Misa kind of, you know, proved herself a little bit here. You know, like she's not as stupid, you know, as she looks.
Or acts.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
no,
I give this episode a B plus.
yeah, same. Like I said, the only criticism is we didn't really get like enough Light or L in this.
They were like barely in this one.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because like they've been like that's never happened before. Like they've been the main focuses of the show.
Yeah, and like, well, Light has been out of the action for a while now because he's been handcuffed to L.
Yeah, and
I guess that's a criticism of like ever since Light lost his memories. It's cool seeing that like Light is like, you know, we could see what he was like before the Death Note, and like how he's like comparing himself to Kira.
yeah,
Actually, I think that was in this episode. He puts together that the Kira operating now is different from the first Kira.
right. So I forgot it was this one. Yeah, because he connects that like the when he was Kira pretty much, but you know,
Yeah, he just says the first Kira, like he just,
yeah, that was killing you know criminals that deserved the guy, but this Kira is killing like criminals that did it for good reason or you know got you know didn't get like a fair trial or things like that. So
yeah, or like deeply regretted whatever they did.
yeah, so that's where he makes the
and he's like saying like, man, Kira's ideals kind of match up with mine, which is kind of scary.
and then this is kind of when he like you know like I said that's cool stuff, but like yeah, a criticism is because even though like Ellie hasn't been doing a whole lot, you see like a lot of still out doing things
Yeah,
throughout
like
these
Al's
episodes.
still the one like calling the shots.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a criticism about Light's plan in a way that he's not doing shit. So
Yeah.
um
All right. Like everyone else is just doing his plan for him.
maybe that's part of his plan though. Like he's not doing that he did. Maybe that was like a big highlight of his plan. It's like, okay, I don't want to do shit, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna.
I just kind of want to kick back, relax for a little bit, so I let these other schmucks, handle the heavy lifting.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, B plus.
And,
Mac and cheese. You done with mac?
yeah. Hey guys, sorry for the cut.
Yeah. Now on to episode 22. This episode is called Guidance, which is pretty damn significant. And this episode came out on March 13th, 2007. And also, it aired on March 23rd, 2008. I forgot to say add a week because, we're doing this kind of in a bit of a rush. So, but anyhow, this episode opens up basically back right after the last one. And Al and everybody else want to make a plan of how to finally catch the new killer. But Al doesn't want to just catch the new killer. He wants to know how the new killer is killing people. Because once he can find that out, then he can kind of, really bring him to justice. Because I feel like he has to see it play out because that will give him like a lot of evidence. Which is really goddamn cool, actually. I even like that they show in this episode, like, he even makes the, connection that Light was once Kira, and he passed on his power to the new Kira.
Right, and he also figured out there's like a third party, like someone who these powers came from someone. So
Yeah.
basically, like Ryuk.
Yeah. And I thought it was pretty cool because, like, when he was explaining this, like, you could see, like it kind of get all dark, and you could see, like, Light was, like, looking over him, and, like, it would, like, zoom up to, like, the top of the room, and it would be looking
Death
over
Note is really good at like making like people talking dramatic.
Yeah.
Because like actually 23 is pretty actiony, but Death Note for the most part it's not like an action series. It's a lot of people sitting around talking.
Yeah, I like it though.
Yeah, it makes it interesting, and like the camera zooming in and out and like being dramatic helps.
Yeah, and this is basically when they come up with the plan, where they're gonna have that TV studio that's been filming all the Kira stuff, releasing like a interview segment with Matsuda, basically where he's gonna talk about how he knows who the new Kira is and everything, and this is gonna worry Higuchi, and basically Higuchi would want to eliminate Matsuda because he knows too much about Kira. So this will
because he listened in on the meeting and
yeah, and this will allow him to really able to really see how he does his killing, and he has ready plant taps and cameras in his call, like all his calls, because like another time where like he was Kira is because like his house was very like high secure.
Yeah, Weddy points out like 3 of the members of the group have like really high security, and out of those 3, Higuchi is like the most secure.
Yeah, like it took her 2 days just to break into his house, like.
Right, and like she broke into the big business, their company like in like an hour.
Yeah, so
like when your house has better security and then like a multi-million-dollar business, then yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basically and what I liked about this too is it kind of like showed visions of like like them of what their actual plan is. Like it's not actually happening, but it's like what they kind of pick as
how like they think it'll go, and it goes. You even said this during the episode, like it's weird for a plan to go like this good.
Yeah, because like in a TV show, if you ever watch a TV show where they try to make these epic plans, something always goes wrong. And it happened this time.
It goes a little wrong in 23, but not really.
Yeah, like it only like it's like Like it's like a blimp, pretty much.
Yeah.
But one key thing I didn't mention about the plan, because it's kind of important, is they're gonna have like a mess up happen, like would look like it's an accident, well, like the thing that like, because Mata is gonna be like doing this, like
Like an anonymous, uh, an anonymous, like witness or like.
yeah, but like the platform that he's gonna be standing behind is gonna accidentally fall. Will be
Yeah,
on his
so
face.
Higuchi would be able to see his face.
Yeah. Um.
And the reason they're doing Matsuda instead of someone else is because, they want to see how he kills people, so they know he needs a face.
Yeah.
So, it needs to be like someone he knows. Or like the name, and he thinks, he has his name.
Yeah, but he doesn't really because
Right. So like Matsuda's really the only person they can do. Matsuda is a cool moment where they're like, you can think about it for a couple days about doing this because your life will be in danger.
Yeah.
And Matsuda just steps up like, no, like I'll do it right now.
And a lot of people could criticize saying that he didn't really leave you with much suspense, but with the way Matsuda's character and the way his storyline's been built up of him wanting to prove himself, it wouldn't have made sense at all if he waited a couple of days. Like,
Right.
And what I liked about this episode too is they don't even waste time. But they just the next scene 3 days has passed. So, they show I think the mole that's working with Light and El and all the rest of the task force come in because that's how they're gonna too. Like they're gonna call this guy to have him
Tell
call.
Higuchi to watch the channel.
Yeah, because like because that's a pretty important part of the plan too. Because Batman too, like he doesn't even end up watching, and they do this whole plan for nothing. Like not even watching it. Like, but he's meeting with the other two business guys, and what I liked about this episode is you got to kind of see like the 7 business guys. Like, you saw like cracks forming in the alliance.
Right.
Because
like 2 of the members basically want out, but they know they'll die if they do.
Yeah.
And they pretty much pin down that Higuchi is like Kira.
Yeah. So Light calls him and he tells him about the plan and basically too this kind of shows like Light kind of is a bit like he's still smart but like the mole even like figures out like Higuchi is Kira and Light kind of Light bought into it too like he got caught
like he wasn't sure it was Higuchi but the way like Light sounded when he when he said that like basically confirmed it for him.
Yeah. So, and also too, the other 2 guys are kind of working with like not as much as this mole is, but like they're listening in on a conversation.
Right, because they mentioned one of them mentions before like who was that guy who called during the meeting?
Yeah.
And then Light calls, he's like, yeah, I'm working with L right now.
Yeah.
And they basically they're not moles either, but they're like doing what he's doing and just like trying to get Higuchi arrested so they can be pardoned.
Yeah. Because I'd imagine they would be pardoned. Yeah, basically Light just tells them to make the call when the broadcast comes on. And the broadcast comes on. Everything's going exactly the way it's supposed to. That
Higuchi flips out. He tries calling some of the other members, but like he can't, because none of the other members are worried because like they think they have his name. Kira has his name and face, but like he can't be like it's an alias.
Yeah,
like, he was using an alias because they'll know he was Kira.
And he tries calling Misa too because he thinks like he'll be able to get the name from her, but she doesn't answer because she claims like she's on vacation. Because he tries to call like her manager, which is the FBI agent, who's like standing right outside the building and says, "Yeah, just call her back tomorrow morning." And he's just kind of like, "I can't wait till tomorrow morning." Like he's just
right, like kind of in the middle of something here, dude.
Yeah.
He goes to the company that Misa, the managing company that Misa works at, to try to get his file and his real name.
Yeah, I think too that was
time, like he's watching the show in his car, trying to like make sure like they don't announce anything.
And before we get into that, because that happened in the next episode, because that happened in episode 23. So I think 22 like ended with him like leaving to go to the studio or something. I forget exactly how 22 ends because, like I said, 22 and 23 are two like big episodes that kind of continue with each other. So 22, we're just gonna say is easily an A because we don't exactly know when the episode ends.
Yeah, I give it an AA minus. 23 is basically just like a better 22.
Yeah. But like I said, we don't really know exactly like when 22 officially ends because
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I've been a little busy today, so.
yeah, and I just
Anyway,
like
moving on with
yeah, and like I said, like because it's basically a big episode. So, but yeah, he goes to the and this is really cool too because you see the guy even drive into the place and he's
and Gucci
talking
is
to
like freaking out the whole time. Like he is so stressed out.
yeah, and he's talking to Rem the whole time, and Light and L notice this, and it's kind of cool because Light's the one that's calling it out too. Like he's like, "Who the hell is Rem? And what is he? Who is he talking to?" Like it's pretty cool because like this is kind of nice to watch an irony now in a way.
Yeah, because like should know who she is, but he doesn't.
Yeah, but then they make that connection that
Yeah, because
he's
at first
talking.
I think maybe he's just talking to himself, but after he mentions like a bunch of like the Notebook and stuff, they're like, okay, there's no way he's actually just talking to himself.
Yeah, and then he goes. Then he goes to the Misa's like company or whatever. And gets Matsuda's name, and
Well,
they
his
think
fake name. They prepared that,
yeah.
and two task force members are waiting outside the door, ready to restrain him.
But the problem is they don't know. This is like we said, not knowing about the Death Note is a key factor because they just see him write his name down and nothing happens.
Yeah, they write his name down and he just leaves. So
Yeah.
they're like, what's he doing? Isn't he gonna kill him?
Yeah,
Because like if you just see a serial killer write someone's name down, you wouldn't think that notebook is gonna kill that person.
Yeah.
No, he's doing something. He's just writing his name down. That's weird.
yeah, and it's really cool again too because Light's the one that points this out. Nice and irony. So, and also too,
And
this
when
is
when they get to the car, when he gets to the car, and he freaks out because Matza didn't die, they're like, what happened? He just wrote the name down. That's it.
yeah. And I think another cool scene we should talk about too is you could see the relationship that Rem and Hogushi have with each other. Because you see that Light and Ryuk have like a neutral relationship. Rem and Misa, they cared about each other, but Rem basically is screwing this guy over pretty much.
Yeah, he's like trying to get him to die.
Yeah, because this is all part of Light's plan too. Because also
He was debating on even going to the studio because he thought it'd just be a trap or a waste of time.
yeah.
But Rem was like, no, you should, dude. Sure, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So then he decides. So then when he doesn't die, like he has no choice. He decides to do the Shinigami eye deal.
Yeah, and his logic was like, look, either I can cut my life in half and like live to be like rich, and successful, or I could not take the deal and then, my life is basically over. So it's like cut my life in half or have all of it be gone.
And he chooses to take the Shinigami eye deal, and Reddy too is following him throughout all of this too. And the problem is a cop ends up pulling him over for speeding, which is kind of ironic.
He's acting like a lunatic. Like he wants to get to the station and kill Matsuda.
Yeah, it's kind of cool too. He's about to go kill somebody, but gets pulled over for speed, and that's kind of just is so funny right there. Like,
And imagine if he got arrested for that.
yeah,
But because he has the eye deal, he's able to see the cop, see the cop's name, and then he like reaches into his bag, writes his name down, and then like drives away.
yeah,
So the cop, on one pursuing him, crashes into a car and dies.
yeah, and because he has a heart attack and then crashes.
And this police guy is maybe one of the most important characters because of that they knew he had the eye deal because they knew he didn't have the cops
Yeah,
name. So they got Matsuda and the interviewer out of there replaced them with mannequins, and the people at the building ready to restrain him have helmets on so they can't see his face.
Which that's actually pretty damn cool. Like, I wouldn't have even, like, I guess I would have thought of that, but I wouldn't have thought of it as quickly as, like, Al did and stuff like that.
I know, he was just like, oh, okay, this is happening. All right, guys, you got, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, it was pretty, and it's not like they know he had the idea, but they basically know, like, you know, and he has the same powers as the second Kira had, so, and then, he gets to the building, and he sees nobody's there, like, he's just able to walk in, no security, nothing. So he goes to the TV studio, and there's no audience there or anything. And he finds out that they're mannequins, so he realizes pretty much it's a trap.
Yeah, and before this, they point out that Wedney is the only one who has a gun, because Chief Yagami, which is kind of stupid, but, you know, it's consistent with his character. He won't wield a gun because civilians aren't allowed to wield guns in Japan.
So think about how much the scene would be different too if he had just taken the gun. You know, they corner him. You think he's about to, get arrested here, but he pulls out his gun from his bag and shoots Chief Yagami. Which I thought Chief Yagami was going to be.
He's like, okay.
Yeah.
But he's able to slip away, and they start pursuing him. Light, L, and Watery are in the chopper, and Watery has like a sniper rifle. I call Watery Alfred, by the way, basically, because he's basically Alfred.
Yeah.
And he's he's ready to kill someone. Like this guy's a badass.
And also at this time too, Misa got restrained. I don't know if they said why, because we were kind of talking during that part, because
because I think Misa wanted to help out, and they just wanted her to stay there and like not interfere.
Yeah. So basically, they still think Misa is useless.
And we're skipping a lot of like how Higuchi's acting, just because like it's cool to see like how panicked he is.
Yeah.
And a lot of this episode is focused on him and just him like freaking out and trying to like formulate a plan.
Which, I think too, we talked about like this contrast of how like Light kind of would react in this situation. Like
Light would definitely hit a point where like he's like freaking out. But,
yeah.
He would be able to stay calmer longer than this guy. This guy just like starts freaking out as soon as Matsuda shows up on TV.
And it's pretty believable the way this guy like freaks out too. Like I think you and I both would have.
Oh, absolutely. Like hopefully I would never be in this situation, but like, yeah, I'd be probably pissing my pants worse than this guy.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of hard to describe that, because it's basically like Higuchi tries not to flip out, but flips out the episode.
Yeah, I think instead of and I think too that's why this episode's called Frenzy, because that's exactly what Higuchi goes through the whole episode. Like
I know, right? So it's just fun to see this guy like break down and like try to like piece something together.
And he's got no help either. Like Rem's not gonna fucking help him.
Yeah, Rem is like acting like she's on his side, but she's trying to screw him over. So
yeah. So then they have a big car chase. And he also too like the cops were told not to approach Higuchi too, but when he's about to make an escape.
Well, before, remember, Kira was like paying the cops off to like not chase him.
Yeah.
So Elle was surprised when the cops show up in a blockade blocking off the highway.
Yeah. And
they have tinted windows. That's really weird. I wonder who could have told them about that. It's Aizawa.
Yep. And this is cool because Aizawa, he could say like a year of his life finally paid off now. And he still tries to run away, but what's his name again?
Watari.
Huh?
Watari.
Watari shoots at his tire, and he thinks
from the helicopter, by the way. That's impressive.
And then he threatens to kill himself if he gets arrested, but Watari just shoots at his gun and knocks it out of his hand. Like
I know, right? That's also pretty badass. Watari just a freaking G.
And the episode ends with him finally getting caught. Like that's it. Like
yeah, he's just slumped over, like oh.
Yeah.
Like he's because his car crashed and he's just like out of it,
Yeah. And that was the end of the episode. I thought this episode was awesome. A+.
I give it an A+.
and it was definitely the culmination of something we had waited for a while. Because technically, in their minds, Kiwa's caught now. Like, there's no but obviously, there's something's gonna happen in 24. Either like maybe or 20. We know something's happening within these next 3 episodes where Light's gonna get his memory back. Probably, we just don't know when or because obviously it has to happen before the time skip. Because you know what, but yeah, that's basically the end of the video. I know it feels like we kind of rushed this a little bit. But this episode was just so absolutely crazy that it was just so awesome. So
yeah, it's like it's hard to describe just like seeing someone panic and freak out, you know?
Yeah, because that's
why the episode's so great, but it's like hard to review it because of that.
Yeah, and I feel like too sometimes like that can be the best types of well, sometimes it can be the worst types of videos. Like that, wait until we have to review like a really bad movie that's so bad that it's hard to describe. Like
right, like it's like an anomaly and English and you know what? It's weird. All right, there you go. That's English.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Should we even do plugs? We're just making like 4 videos in a row.
Nah.
Yeah, let's see ya.
All right, well, that was our reviews for episodes 21, 22, 23. Tune in for 24, 25, 26 coming up soon.
They're all gonna be one video too. Like
no, those are separate videos.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, they're all gonna be separate videos.